Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, January 15th, 2024 at 11:47 a.m. in the morning. So, my sleep, I think, was somewhat better last night, you know. And so um, my, it's like last night, everything was fine and normal. But once I try to shut my eyes and go to sleep, they started vibrating my organs really bad and my feet too. And I started to wonder if they were vibrating my whole body, but I just mainly felt it in my feet and organs. So in my left ear, I don't remember if it was last night or this morning, I heard a high pitched ring in my ear for a few seconds. And so this morning after breakfast, I tried to get me some more sleep and could not fall asleep. I was so tired and still tired. Excuse me. This yawn right here came unprepared without warning. Excuse me. So it came unprepared without warning. So this morning's breakfast experience was a lot better, but than yesterday. But something small happened, but I can't say it because I know the perps will try to get me, try to set me up to get in trouble or something, you know. But yesterday, I forgot to mention that yesterday morning, there was a car that was waiting for me right before I went to eat breakfast. I forgot to mention that detail. So at this hotel, you know, the breakfast is included, you know. So today is the holiday, and I wasn't even thinking until a day or two I realized, oh, it's the MLK holiday. I almost forgot. And I think today was his birthday too or something. But I've heard good and bad things about Martin Luther King Jr. as well, you know, because I heard the real reason why he got famous or whatever, like anybody else that's black and famous, there's this black version of the Illuminati called the Boule, Boule. It's like the black version of the Illuminati and Freemasonry, like the black skull and bones, because I heard about, with the racism and slavery and all that, and segregation. I heard that some blacks, wanted to be part of the Illuminati or whatever. And then they were rejected. So then they, I guess, formed their own black version of the Illuminati and Freemasonry and all that. And it's called the Boule Secret Society. And you don't even have to be rich and famous. It can be your own neighbors, relatives, whoever, So, and those are the ones who people are calling like Uncle Toms and sellouts and all that. The Spanish version of sellout is like bandito. You know, Vendido. It's like the Hispanic or Latino or whatever version of being a sellout. But it's like, it seems like if black people betray their own kind, they're called a sellout. So, you know, when people sell their soul to the devil, of course they do the devil's work. And that also means trying to mock God or try to mock Jesus Christ or try to take the place of Jesus Christ. And they want the hero acknowledgement all for themselves. So I've heard like certain different sources, about MLK, Malcolm X, and and I guess some of them start speaking the truth and speaking out after they realize their mistake. If Malcolm X was the one who had, I don't know whether to say it was a sermon or what. He wasn't Christian. I think he was Muslim. And the fact that they call him Malcolm X, is proof that he sold out. Because I heard that X, like what they recently turned Twitter into X, or anything with X, it has something to do with the occult and New Age and evil, So, like DMX, he sold out as well. But I guess after a while he woke up and started fighting back against the elites and speaking the truth. And, some people, like, you don't get that fame without selling out. And even if somebody forced you to do it, or someone else sold you out when you were a child, and then you grow up to a certain age and you realize this is wrong. I don't want to participate in this anymore. And then you start exposing and speaking out and fighting back, and then they come back and kill you. And I know that none of us are perfect. Excuse me. So, I even heard about these civil rights movement people being part of the Boule and the Freemasonry and all that, So, like, they try to hide a lot of the truth about this information. If you find out that, okay, through research, if you find out somebody like Sojourner Truth or Rosa Parks being sellouts or secretly part of Masonic organizations, and that's why they got their fame. But you don't always have to be famous or whatever to be Masonic. You could be your next door neighbor, your family member, or your co-worker or whoever else, and they sworn to secrecy. Excuse me. So, some people feel like as if people like Martin Luther King being Masonic, that some people feel like as if he wanted to just, mock Jesus with pretending to be Jesus and pretending to save or change the world, but Jesus Christ already saved the world. And it's up to us to accept salvation, you know. And some of these people considered as heroes to save the world, you know, even like Mother Teresa and stuff. I heard that she wasn't a true hero like that. You know, I've heard rumors, the stuff I read, that behind closed doors she was secretly torturing and trafficking kids and stuff. You know, while pretending to be such a hero to save the poor and all. You know, excuse me. But it's not what I mean. A lot of the truth is hidden from us. You know, excuse me. So I mean, a lot of the truth has been hidden from us. So yeah, I heard about Rosa Parks in the her being part of that a children's secret society called Job's Daughters. You know, so I'm like, wow. So I mean, but it seems like as if um they said that MLK speech ended you know, segregation and slavery and all, but racism, it still exists, and but it's more covert. But excuse me, I heard that the devil and his servants will use something like race and gender and class and weight and height or whatever to divide humanity. Because nowadays, especially here in America, you know, no matter what color or race we are, all of us are mental slaves or being conditioned to be mental slaves for the New World Order. With mind shackled and don't even realize it. Well, a lot of us, the ones who haven't awakened to the truth, you know, and we're the ones who y'all want to call crazy and laugh at us. And while you know, live a vain and meaningless life, you know, of materialism and worldly gain, you know, by being popular and fake and famous on whether it be whatever kind of social media there is, you know, and just because you're well respected with millions of likes on your video does not mean you're a good person. That does not automatically mean that you're a good person. Because people who are popular, fake, and famous or whatever, they're because of their fake power that they sold their soul to the devil for, their evil deeds get overlooked or excused or pardoned. And that's why evil is continuing to exist. But if you're considered a nobody and you do something wrong, oh, they'll make you do serious time in prison for it. Excuse me. Sorry. So, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about, you know, MLK, Malcolm X, Tupac, and DMX, Prince, Michael Jackson, all those people, you know, that spoke out and now they're gone, you know. But I heard that sometimes they'll kill you, like Aaliyah. They will kill you before you can even speak out and publicly say anything, you know. They're making my nose itch. Excuse me. So we don't even know if MLK was genuine, with with his "I have a dream" speech or whatever, if he was trying to mock Jesus Christ or try to take Jesus Christ's place because of the Freemasonry, or if he was legit, you know, because some people do something like that and then want all the glory and praise for themselves, you know. And I heard that racism and colorism and featureism or whatever still exists. You know, just because you're light skinned with green eyes and loosely curled hair and look mixed does not mean. I had to learn this in 2011, 2012. Excuse me, after waking up to the truth of researching the Illuminati and the New World Order and everything, you know, and excuse me, that nobody is better than the next person. And I found that out before becoming a Christian and reading and studying the Bible or whatever, you know. And they had some people try to say that MLK was like a closet devil worshiper, and that's what a lot of these Freemasons and Eastern Stars or whatever, that they be like a closet Satanist pretending to be Christian, you know. And we don't even know if Martin Luther King Jr., if he was a communal narcissist or a narcissistic abuser or not, or Malcolm X or any of them, you know. But yeah, somebody educated me on Malcolm X's speech about the house Negro and the field Negro. And a lot of, no matter what color or race, if you're anti-Illuminati nowadays or anti-New World Order, you're considered a field Negro. But if you're controlled opposition or ignorant or don't know the truth, blind to the truth, you'll be a house Negro. You know, you know, um, or a house slave, field slave, or whatever. And I will remind y'all again that um, I'm gonna remind y'all again that you know, that psychiatry and the mental health system, you know, with psychiatry and the mental health system, it was created originally for people who rebelled against slavery. And you see a lot of people of all races, or I don't know about all, but multiple races, any race that's oppressed by psychiatry in the mental health system, And people say that the psychiatry industry is one of the biggest scams there is in the medical field. All of Big Pharma is a big fraud. Many of us could be living longer naturally. Like the Food and Drug Administration, is anybody going to call you a scam and a fraud? You know, you're part of the FDA or whatever. But then somebody comes with the truth on how you can heal naturally, and then they say that you're a snake oil salesman or a quack. And then they weaponize your own invention against you and then murder you with it. If you ever look into Nikola Tesla, you know, Nikola Tesla, you know, he had a way of trying to protect, you know, people with certain things, you know. And they weaponized everything, you know, against him and killed him off, you know. And George Orwell, 1984, was truth, but the schools brainwashed us to believe it was fiction. And that's one of the ways how they have what's called, you know, the MK Ultra and the mind control of the masses and predictive programming. You know, especially like in movies and music and even novels and stuff like that, you know. But MLK, he probably could have been, you know, sincere and genuine with what he did. You know, who am I to say? I don't know. But I've read up on about how Masonic people, how they operate and everything, you know. And I didn't know until Twitter of 2010, I didn't know. I mean, I just remember hearing about January 15th being MLK's birthday. And then, you know, that third Monday of January is always the holiday observed. But I didn't know until 2010 that he got assassinated on, and he was on considered on the Illuminati. Him and Malcolm X and all them, they were on the Illuminati assassination list. And JFK was assassinated for of course he was one of the Illuminati family members, you know. The Kennedys, that's one of the 13 bloodlines. Hold on. So it was April 4th, 2010, I think it was a Sunday, was the first time I heard, and I don't remember if it was Easter or not, but it was the first time I heard that MLK was assassinated on April 4th. And then, yeah, and I mean, and then, you know, that same day in 2010, there was an earthquake in Los Angeles. I remember seeing when I was living in Denton, Texas, but I was on Twitter and I saw that. You know, I didn't know about gang stalking or whatever, but I had a red Dell laptop. I remember that red laptop that I had. But I knew nothing about the gang stalking or targeting individuals or the color red or whatever. Or I didn't even know the truth about the Illuminati or anything at that time. But it wasn't that much longer that it was from Twitter in 2010 when I very no, yeah, I think I first heard of the Illuminati and the New World Order, but I didn't know that in 2007 or 2008 or 9, I heard a little bits and pieces of the truth or whatever, or the elite or whatever. But I mean, when we heard about the thing with Michael Jackson and Conrad Murray, that was when, you know, people on Twitter were talking about it. And it's like, and then I felt discouraged because people would try to say Aaliyah was part of Illuminati and all that. But I heard that the celebrities are mainly puppets, especially the black people, because for the New World Order, they want to create a master Aryan, blonde hair, blue eyed, pale skinned race. And I heard that people were saying that was Satan's description. But I heard that the real Jesus was not the Jesus that the pictures of what we see him portrayed as. So, wow. But I heard a lot of people hate the truth or they've been mad at the truth. But if you get popular and fake and famous because you tell everybody fake nice things, you got a witchcraft hold over that person or got that person under a spell and you're deceiving and bewitching that person, or bewitching people. Like a lot of people follow fake ass Joel Osteen. He's one of the popular fakes in the so-called body of Christ. Y'all ought to question the things that he teaches, excuse me, or the lies that he spreads. So anyway, with JFK, John F. Kennedy, excuse me, if you ever look into like research the truth or whatever, they have suppressed and hide and censor the truth. JFK, he spoke out, and I heard that he wanted to change the money system, and he wanted to change the money system, and they took him out for it. He was a white man who went against the system, and he seemed pretty humble about it. If you ever heard JFK speech before they assassinated him, excuse me. And so because even former President JFK, he even did, some wicked and evil stuff. But then eventually he turned his life around, I guess. I don't know if he turned his life I haven't heard about him turning his life to Jesus Christ. But, I mean, you hear about people wanting world peace or wanting to make a world a better place. If you look into the Illuminati and the New World Order and the United Nations, the targeted individuals want to run to the UN and the CIA and the FBI, but they're the ones who's oppressing. The United Nations, they have their Agenda 2030. At first it was Agenda 21. Agenda 2030, Sustainable Development, the Depopulation Plan, all while falsely claiming world peace. Excuse me. They claim world peace. But the Bible warns about, you know, peace, how people will claim peace and safety and then destruction. If you ever hear about sustainable development goals and ICLEI, ICLEI, depopulation, look what happened recently in Hawaii. Now, and the Georgia Guidestones got destroyed. But the elite, excuse me, what they're doing is the elite is what the elite is doing, they are destroying the planet and brainwash us to destroy the planet while falsely claiming that they're trying to heal the earth, and then use some new age beliefs, new age fake satanic beliefs that pretend to sound good. A lot of the new age is evil masquerading as good. So yeah, I heard that. I don't know if it was silver and gold or silver certificates that JFK wanted to change the money system, and they had killed him for that. So yeah, I have a lot on my mind. I didn't even realize I spent like over 30 minutes talking about anti-Illuminati truth, that I thought I forgot about certain information. Excuse me. But I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. And there's still a lot of information that I'm ignorant to. So, like, the Bible mentions about how knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. So just because somebody knows more information than you, they try to use that to think that they're better than you. So, and then in the New Testament, the Bible mentions about ever learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Well, that's why we're forced to go to school for so many years and then come out of school not knowing how to be self-sufficient or taking care of ourselves and feeling helpless. And all we know how to do is depend on the system. That's all we were taught. And it passed down from generation to generation. And we've lost our knowledge of like, we think that because of technology making us smarter, but it's actually making us dumber, or doing things the quick and easy way is supposed to make us smarter. And then people want to be like, well, work smarter, not harder. But I heard that if you work harder, is more beneficial. Like I heard that if you work like the way people used to work back then, there would be no need for gyms and fitness centers. You will already be slim and fit from hard physical labor. You know, even if you go out into the field and gather berries for your family, like they used to do, back then or whatever. And women used to sit home and sew their own clothes, grow their own food, gardening. Yes, that's hard work, that's hard labor. If you were a gardener, you don't need a gym. And then you can automatically stay skinny and not get fat, you know. But the system has it to where, you know, it's it seems like all you know how to do is depend on, you know, the government, or depend on other people, or if you don't know how to do something yourself, you know, and then people, they look down on you like they think they're better because of the selfishness and lack of love. Somebody does, if they won't love you enough that they can, you know, teach you how to scale fish. I mean, scale the take the scales off a fish, or teach you how to clean a fish, or teach you how to sew clothes. Back then people used to do that for each other, and then they show you how to do something until you get it right, and then you learn, and then you can teach others. But nowadays people won't teach you shit, or won't even give you a second of their time unless you got money to give them. You know, people these days aren't even teaching their kids how to do things. Parents, it's like we were brainwashed. I don't have kids, but other people who have kids, if they brainwash to let the system teach them certain things. I heard that it should be your own parents or your own family members to teach you how to drive a car, not no damn driver's ed. But I mean, we're not taught to learn how to repair your own car maintenance. I mean, repair your own car or do your own car maintenance. All we taught to do was spend our hard-earned money, or spend our money to go to a mechanic. Or the men in the family, or anybody's family, if we went to school not knowing how to be a plumber, but certain people may choose as an adult or whatever to have that trade. I mean, go to school for that trade to be a plumber. And then, if a person knew how to be their own plumber, then that's less money they have to spend for another person to be a plumber. But the American system in school taught us basically useless information and indoctrination and lies. And I found out all this stuff later on in life and felt disappointed and discouraged. Discouraged and disappointed. All this stuff that we were never taught. And of course, the foster mom didn't teach us much of nothing. If she just tell us, get my house clean. But she never sat alongside us to show us how to wash dishes at 7, 8, 9, or however old we were. Or she never sat alongside us and showed us how to clean a toilet. Or she used to comb my hair, but not always, but she didn't love us enough to show us this is how you braid hair or something. And she knew how to do a lot of different things. She was considered, what is it? If there's Jack, there's Jill. There's John, there's Jane. Okay, so John Doe, Jane Doe. Okay, Jack and Jill. Okay, she was the Jill of all trades. She knew how to garden. She knew how to grow food, but she didn't really do it that much, you know. And she knew how to sew clothes. She didn't teach us how to sew clothes. But the woman couldn't cook to save her life. I mean, the burnt pot of red beans or something like that. For example, always scorch the bottom of the pot of red beans. And then it was our responsibility, if she scorched the pot black with thick scorchiness in the pot, then if you couldn't get all that scrubbed off or washed, you get punished, and then you have to wash dishes again the next day or for the whole week for her mistake. But if I were to scorch a pot, I would have to hear a never-ending lecture about my lack of common sense. And she would take that out of my allowance and, say, you owe me a new pot, or you're going to buy me a new pot. And that's the type of way she operated. But we weren't allowed to soak the pot overnight. But then some years in my adulthood, I had to, I had the freedom to soak a pot overnight. And then all that scorching would come off, and it's easy peasy to, wash and rinse the pot out, Or later on, years later, finding out easier ways to clean things, because she never really taught us. She just said, get my house clean, and I want this clean, and I want that clean, So, yeah. So this hotel right here, the Wi-Fi is not as fast as the previous hotel I just came from. So, well, what happened? Oh, my right leg is I have like sciatica kind of pain in my right leg, and my hips were hurting this morning, but it wasn't so bad that I couldn't walk. But at the other hotel, yeah, the food was much fresher and better, but you had to pay for the food. But over here, the breakfast is included. But over there, you had to pay the incidentals fee over there. So it was what day was that? The day after, the morning after New Year's, someone had offered me the room, you know, and he offered me the room, and at first I thought it was somebody's house or somebody's place to go live at or stay at, but I didn't know it was a hotel room. Excuse me. And um so he picked me up somewhere. I mean, me being just desperate to get out of the cold. It didn't even cross my mind the possibility of human trafficking or anything, but I got lucky. And he had a white van. It was a work van, though. And so I he offered me a room, and I thought that he was just, donating me to that room, you know, and which come to find out he did. But what happened was, excuse me, you don't even know if some people are a good person or if they're a perp or if they have good intentions or if they have bad intentions. So he had, he picked me up in the van like super early in the morning for me to get out of the cold. And it's like when you're in survival mode or panic mode, that's all you're thinking, you know. So he took me out here, and you know, it's like I for when he didn't wear perp colors. Um, I mean, I was looking for. He didn't even have like one headlight or anything, on his van. So I checked the headlights and the tail lights. Everything looked normal, you know. So I'm like, okay, so I don't think he's a perp. Okay, so then he talked to me while he was taking me over this side, and yeah, because it seemed like as if he was trying to say that he had a coworker, excuse me, that he had a job and that he had a coworker that he paid for a room for his coworker, and then the coworker got fired for going ditching the job and go off to see some woman or something, or see a girlfriend or something. I don't remember. Excuse me. So then, you know, I mean, it was right before 6 o'clock and it was still dark. So I thought that he was just like donating me the room, or the room was up for grabs, pretty much. And then so after it was somewhat toward almost toward the end of the ride, and by the time we got to the hotel, before we got to the hotel, you know, I didn't even know if it seemed like he was twice threw up the devil hand sign, like doing his hand movements. And I was wondering, did he do that on purpose, or was it unintentional, if he was aware or if he wasn't aware or whatever? And so then shortly after, after I got out of the van and settled into the room, um, I got out of the van and settled into the room, and then Oh yeah, and I asked him how much would you charge for the room, and he told me it's totally up to you. He told me it's totally up to me how much the room was. He said it's totally up to you, and so then I told him what my financial obligations for the month were. You know, and he told me don't worry about the funds right now. You know, he told me don't worry about the finances. Right now. You know, but then when after he showed me the room and gave me the key or whatever, and then I went into the room and settled in, and then he left and he came and knocked on the door and quickly changed into clothes with a lot of red and some blue. It's like this pajama outfit that he changed into, and I was like, wow, that was really quick. And the fact that he switched into like red and blue clothes made me wonder, is this a perp? And then I just kept trying to, give him the benefit of the doubt. Excuse me, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I got this mucus in my throat. I'm sorry, y'all. So then, because I got like no sleep that night. Like the night of New Year's, which turned into the next morning, I got no sleep and I was crying out for help for a hotel room. But I didn't know it was super late that night. Somebody finally donated me something enough for one night, you know. And I was trying to go to the cheaper motel, but with this guy, so we talked or whatever, like through, we talked, had a couple of conversations or whatever, and then I don't remember if I got any sleep that morning. But usually when I get in the hotel room after getting off the streets, one of the first things I do is gotta take a shower. And then the next day, I found out I had to, no, it was that morning I found out I had to pay for the breakfast. And I told, the front desk what the arrangements were and everything, you know. So I tried as best as I could to keep a low profile and stay in the room as much as possible, but only leave when very necessary. So remember, I told y'all. I had to pay for my phone bill. I didn't know that this was gonna come up, but wait, I think I did already know it was gonna come up. Yeah, but anyway, you know, how certain things with this targeting get sabotaged, and I was silently praying, that the guy wouldn't switch up on me, or get kind of crazy or weird. Excuse me. So, in case something would have happened, or if he would have switched his mind or stopped acting funny or whatever, that's why I purchased a monthly pass for both agencies for the bus, you know. But then that had some moments where I had to, a few times, take an Uber to handle certain business or do certain things. Like the day when I went to go and get the pants from Burlington, and then I went to Dollar Tree where I had like too much stuff. The stuff was too heavy for me to be walking and taking the bus, so I took had to take an Uber ride. And then I showed y'all that Uber guy was a perp with one headlight. Um, and so I had a couple of other moments where one of the Uber drivers had a dirty car, and I think I got reinfested with the bed bugs, and so I had to keep buying like peppermint oil, soap, and more rubbing alcohol, and I had to buy some more bladder pads and more hygiene stuff, razors to try to take care of myself. You know, excuse me, and also buying. I mean, it's like I had to either eat Dollar Tree food or sacrifice certain, like not eating lunch or something like that. Um, because whether you eat the breakfast or dinner at or nearby, it's like the food would be like almost $20 for one meal, you know. But the intersection where the hotel, the two major streets of the intersection, is very dangerous and scary to walk. I had to walk it. I mean, my life probably would have been cut short. You know, with that dangerous intersection that way. And so I didn't eat like the restaurant food or the hotel restaurant food every day. You know, and also I had to buy the I had to buy the excuse me a year's worth of a private mailbox. And because of the gang stalking, I'm not going to disclose how much that was, you know. But I had to what else I had to do? But anyway, so I don't remember. It wasn't the first day, but I think it was the second or third day that the guy was texting me, and we were trying to negotiate on how much he wanted me to pay. And I said, well, all I had left to spare was $400. And so he said that it didn't matter. At first he acted like he was giving me the room for free, and then you know so then after that I said, well, how much? He said however much you want, you know but then after that he was telling me that um he was trying to act like as if, well, he didn't even tell me, like he gave me a certain number of figures of an idea of how much the room probably cost throughout the day or each day or whatever, but he didn't tally up and say, well, all of the nights will be this amount of money, because for 11 days, yeah, I didn't have that money at all, or that much money at all. Not that much money for 11 days. So as I said, at first I thought he was offering to donate me the room, or that the room was up for grabs since his friend didn't you know use the room, or roommate. I mean, I'm sorry, his coworker. So then, if I told him all I had was $400, and he acted like he started to get a little upset and started to say that he was trying to get at least half. And I guess he was trying to say that he was trying to get at least half of the amount that the room would cost. Half of the amount of room for 11 days, $400, that wouldn't amount up to that. So then he turned around and said, well, I don't need any of your money. And then he acted like he was trying to negotiate that he wanted me to give him sex in exchange for the room. And so it's like, well, okay, well, if you're gonna do this, then I can't afford to do that because, well, I'm gonna have to pack up and leave. And I was like, well, I guess I'll pay you for the room. I was trying to. Well, I don't even think I told him that, but I should have, or I thought of to, pay for the rooms already, the room of the days already used, and then just go back on the streets or find another hotel or motel to go to. But then he apologized and said that he felt like an asshole, for, and then he let me know that he was, you know, just, I guess, desperate or whatever, and hadn't had any or whatever. But it's funny because he said that he had a roommate that I never saw the woman. I never saw her. But he had a roommate that was a woman that he was staying with her in the room. But he said that she was like a survivor of being like sexual abuse and stuff. But he had her in his room. But I had a room by all to myself. But um but I don't know if she was paying him any money or paying him anything, you know. And so, you know, ooh, I just I don't even, I hope I'm not getting vertigo again. So I mean, excuse me, she was I never saw her, the woman. But it's like, well, he got a woman in the that's a roommating with him, or they're sharing the same room. Well, when he tried to ask me like for a little personal time together, and was trying to be a little subtle with trying to act like he wanted to invite me to, have sex with him or whatever. I'm like, no, no, just no. After what happened, that thing that happened in 2020, that changed the rest of the world, that I can't mention on here. I can't take the risk of, you know, unless I really, really, really get to know who you are, you know, and what your beliefs are. And I'll be damned, I didn't want to be having sex with somebody who is a perp, or be raped or taken advantage of by anybody who, again, who is a perp, you know. So it seemed like as if he respected me and gave me my space or whatever. So when I threatened, well, I don't want to say threatened to leave, but when I said I was gonna pack up and leave, he begged me to stay, and said he took his words back. He apologized and said he didn't mean to come on, that way. And he said that he didn't want me to be out in the cold. He didn't want me to be out in the cold or whatever, you know. Excuse me. So, and I've never in my entire life, had sex with anyone in exchange for survival or a favor or anything like that. Not willfully or knowingly or choosing to agree to something like that, Excuse me, but being taken advantage of or raped, that's a different thing. But, I don't do stuff like hookups or one night stands and all that. I've never been that type. I'm 40 years old. Why would I start now? You know, but he begged me to stay and said he didn't want me out there in the cold or whatever. you know, and I was gonna give him, $400, but then he turned around and said, I don't need any of your money. You know, he told me to keep my money. He didn't need any, really didn't need any of it. So it's like, I was afraid that he would grow bitter over the days and maybe switch up on me, or I didn't know what to expect, you know. And at first he talked about the other woman like as if he cared about her or something like that, you know, and felt bad for her situation. And then after a few days, it seems like he was ranting to me about her, like he was frustrated with her or whatever. Um, and then a couple of days before my time was up, he said that he made her leave and the hotel made her leave. You know, so I mean, I still never saw who the woman was, but I saved the $400 in case he would have asked for it, or I saved the $400, in case he would have switch up on me, but I mean, as I said, I had me trying to, you know, as I said, certain places I couldn't go because the dangerous intersection, and then also I just needed a nice long break from the gang stalking. But, you know, one of the hotel staff threw up devil horns hand signs at me, you know, and they had the one that works in the evening at the bar. The first person I saw the first day, she was nice and cool or whatever, but the second one kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and had kind of like a little, I don't know how to describe it, but kind of rude, or a little bit rude, slightly rude or whatever, and then kind of treated me like I got on her nerves. But the food was really good and really fresh, But, excuse me. But I tried as much as I could to, not eat, the restaurants every day, And so that's why I compromised, I tried to live off Dollar Tree food. But then when I ate the food from Dollar Tree, my body felt very weak. My body felt weak. Excuse me. So I thought about some other way to compensate the man. I just didn't want to give him any sex or anything. But as I set aside $400, but he told me he didn't need any of my money at all. And he was telling me about how he used to have a wife or whatever, but his wife passed away, and he felt lonely and grieving about the wife that died. So I mean, I understand, his grief or whatever. But I'm glad, not 100%, but everything went smoothly over there. Mostly, I had some issues, some problems, like, and I don't even know if he arranged it or like somebody said that the hotel probably could have arranged for the perps nearby to make that tapping noise. And the perp was doing a tapping noise for the entire 11 days the whole time I was there. So shucks, that's the price I had to freaking pay, and getting lack of peace and quiet. Other than that, it was mostly quiet. But I could have had my peace and quiet if they wouldn't have been. I'm like, this is just senseless. You know, Excuse me. So then, I mean, I've told y'all about a few other instances, but another instance that I waited, Saturday morning, it was a different lady with the breakfast, and she was kind of weird, you know, and because the other female, she was younger and she was pregnant, and she was nice and she really gave me no problems, didn't act like a perp at all, But one time they had a Hispanic lady who didn't know English, and she didn't know how to operate the machine or whatever, but eventually I was scared she was going to try to overcharge me or something, but eventually everything turned out all right. So then Saturday, this black lady um took my order, or she was the cashier that day. It was the day before yesterday. And so my initial encounter with her seemed a little bit awkward. And so, they tell you can sit wherever you like. So I sat down and I told her what I wanted. And her fingernails were very dirty. You a cashier, like her fingernails were dirty. And then, you know, she seemed like the type of person that was like a ghetto, nosy, narcissistic abuser. And then I suspected that she was a perp as well. She was a ghetto, nosy, narcissistic abuser that, aggressively demanded an answer for my personal business and asking me personal questions and then treating me like I don't know no better, or like I'm too stupid or lack common sense. And then, you know, she manipulated me to telling her, certain, with her demanding an answer for my personal business, manipulated me into telling her certain things about my homeless situation, you know. And then when I told her about what the way she treated me or whatever, and then she lecturing me. I mean, she telling me about how, my family's evil or whatever, or that they're gonna reap what they sow or whatever. And then you turn around and do me evil. So what she did was, when she served me my plate of food, um, when she served me my plate of food, she had it's like, with her hands being dirty and her fingernails being very dirty, um her hand was actually touching, you know, a portion of my waffle on the plate. And then after she played that psychological game with me and then served me my apple juice in a smaller cup, um and then I questioned her about it, and I said, "Wait a minute." She gave me a normal sized glass of water, because they didn't have the picture out there like they had been having the picture of where you can self serve your own water. But she gave me a normal sized cup of water, but then gave me a much smaller cup for the apple juice. And I'm like, wait a minute. Um, any other time they you know give me the same size cup which you put the water in, they gave me that same amount of apple juice. So I was wondering, why do I have a much smaller cup, like half the size, of the apple juice? And now, like, am I expected to pay $4 for this? And so then she tried to gaslight me and tell me that maybe the other girl was new and this and that. When I'm like, no, I see you trying to play a game on me, pretty much. And so, um, So it was a man working there, and I tried to ask him, is this supposed to be the real size of the apple juice or whatever? And then she butted in and said, yes! Like with an attitude. And I was wondering, is she a perp, and or that they sent in to try to play a game? I mean, I was like, why they sent the wait till the last day to send her in and start perping and doing weird shit or whatever. So then she got mad that she had to give me another cup of the juice, or like a refill of the juice. And so she made me so upset that I couldn't even finish. I kind of lost my appetite and got to a point I even got nauseated and lost my appetite and couldn't even finish all my food. And then I couldn't even finish all my food. And then you know, but then it looked like she gave me a $2 discount. Like she made like a custom, after a while, she made like a custom price of charging me or whatever, and then gave me a discount on the juice, you know. But it helped me kind of feel better that she did that. But like, I thought, because I didn't know what to expect. But I guess she was expecting me to be dumb and not say anything, you know. But I mostly stayed in my room, but they had perps, try to do subtle things to try to trigger and provoke me and try to set me off. I mean, or I meant to say try to set me up to lose my temper and go off. You know. So, I mean, they didn't have a laundromat on site, but I mean, the intersection was too dangerous for me to just walk across the street, you know. And then I didn't feel like dealing with the gang stalking, you know. And it took at least a week for my body to recover from being so tired and sleep deprived and all that, and lack of sleep, and being fatigued while being out there on the streets. But I really love the shower, taking a bath in the shower, and I love the bathroom, you know. But I'm just describing the room. And I, I was able to get like plenty of towels, washcloths, or whatever. And the housekeepers were really nice and respectful, even though they didn't really speak English, but they were really nice and respectful over there. And so the bed on the right side, the mattress kind of caved in a little bit, and it kind of did it a little bit on the left side. So I had to try to sleep in the middle in order to get some balance with the bed. And then it wasn't until like my last couple of days there, or my last 3 or 4 days there, was when they started sleep depriving me and vibrating my body. And then I come over here and they're sleep depriving and vibrating my body. Like, the vibrating is worse over here than when I was over there. So with the $400, I wasn't sure. I was trying to go to the motel said that they didn't have any room, or that they didn't have any space available. So I got as many nights as I could with the $400 over to come over here, you know, because I was trying to do $400 for weekly motel, and they said they didn't have room. And the guy kind of like had a slight attitude about it. So then I came over here and, you know, got as many nights as I could for 400. And, because as I said, with the guy, I wasn't sure of what to expect. But I'm thankful and glad that I wasn't charged anything, you know, that he didn't charge me anything. But I would have been glad to have paid, the $400. So, the $400 was just enough for this room right here. And I still have, like, breakfast is taken care of, you know, for the time that I'm here. But as I described yesterday morning, about perps trying to get in my way or trying to create confrontation or whatever, you know. So I mostly stay in my room, and I have 2 meals worth of the leftover Dollar Tree food, so I can save a little money there. But it was the day before yesterday. I got buy one get one free burrito, so I put the other burrito in the refrigerator from Saturday, and then I saved it for yesterday's lunch to eat. And lately, like for over a week, I have been craving and craving and craving ice cream. But I finally got me some ice cream Saturday. I've been craving ice cream for like 2 weeks, and I finally was able to get me some Saturday. You know, so I mean, if I eat ramen noodles, it makes my body feel very weak and depleted, you know. But I just have like um 2 packages of tuna, one little package, I mean one package of ramen noodle bowl, and then the other is like a package of rice, and then I have one package of Cocoa Pebbles cereal. But last night I had the last can of the Chef Boyardee beefaroni. Health wise, that's not really healthy. You know, excuse me, but I'm surprised that I was fine last night. So I had the Chef Boyardee beefaroni, and I rarely eat that, but you know, and so for the health reasons, I can't even eat that all the time, and so I also had the package of Cocoa Pebbles and ate it dry last night. I didn't even eat didn't have milk, you know. So this morning at breakfast I had some apple juice and cranberry juice and 2 small chocolate chip muffins and 2 small pieces of sausage and eggs, and that was my breakfast. Oh, and a banana and a couple of little packages of peanut butter, cuz I'm trying to stretch and trying to stretch the little money I have, and you know save the little bit of other donations, like you know what's today, Monday? They said the hard freeze is supposed to happen tonight or tomorrow or something. So I don't know how bad the freeze would be. Um, you know, So yesterday, there was this online perp. Um, he used the name. Now that wasn't his real name, but he used the name of a celebrity, like a lower level celebrity. And then he had a 6-month-old fake account, and that was his first comment on my video on my Candy Grand Prix channel. And right after I said, about how to did a video talking about how the gang stalkers are expecting you, excuse me, to be fearful of them and scared of them or whatever. Almost immediately after that video was uploaded, that perp try to lecture me and try to scare me, and try to like, how would an internet stranger think they know more than you know about how much money and donations you were getting? So I mean, that perp try to falsely assume like they think they know it all. This is your first comment on my channel. You've been secretly stalking and watching me for a long time. But who gave you the false or whatever information that I got over 13? You try to lecture me and say that I got over $13,000 in donations alone in the year 2023. Who gave you that information, or who told you that information about me? And then he started threatening me about Social Security and this and that, whatever. And then he tried to say, well, and I bet you're not even reporting your ebooks on your taxes. Who told you that? Last year I did, and I had to. Yes, I did report my ebooks on my taxes. On the tax thing. And I get very little. Like, from my ebooks, I might get like one book sale every 2 or 3 months or something. I'm getting like almost no sales, or not that many sales from my ebooks. So, I mean, these vigilante, this narcissistic, vicious, vigilante, meddlesome stalkers who think they know about your life, and then you tell the truth, and they're saying that they don't believe anything you say, or that you're lying in all of your videos, but they keep stalking and watching you, every video that you post, and even will go back and rewind it and keep on rewatching all your stuff and thumbs you down and act like they think they got authority over you. These fake ass flying monkey puppets that sold their soul to the devil and pretend to be fake righteous. And then he tried to lecture me about he copied off the other online perps, but falsely accusing me of just voluntarily giving up my apartment because I don't like noise. And that is not how that happened. I documented, like, how I'm documenting and showing physical evidence every day, and y'all still got a different narrative on, and you think you know more than me on how stuff went down. I show physical documenting daily, and you still have a totally different narrative. Somebody paid you, a handler came and paid you to come and just talk all that shit on my page. But like how the foster mom got me on Social Security, why is nobody questioning that to be fraud? As I said, in 2017, when I came back to New Orleans, the Social Security office and the administration, they told me that the foster mom committed fraud, and that's why I got some of that back pay. I mean, the foster mom didn't even ask me if I wanted Social Security or SSI. I was a grown adult, and she made it like it was that I had no choice. And she was taking my fucking money. Yeah, she was stealing my fucking money. And I heard rumors, excuse me, I heard rumors that the reason why my twin sister got more money, and she was one of the people who told me that my twin sister got more money with that trust fund check. I heard that the foster mom was secretly getting Social Security for me when I was a child, and I never saw any of that money. The foster mom took it all for herself. She probably took money for us and was buying mink coats, those expensive mink coats. The foster mom was stealing from, I'm not going to say everybody, but, you know, she quick to tell me what I'm not entitled to, or tell me that I want everybody to cater to me, but she thinks everything is hers. One time with my car, when I had my car, she tried to tell me to my face, lie to me and tell me that is her car. That was her car. No, that was my car. Just because you drove it a few times don't make it yours. That was my damn car. The black 2005 Hyundai Elantra, that was my car. So yeah. Yeah, at the other hotel, the fact of having to pay for your own breakfast and dinner. I mean, here I got to pay for my own lunch and dinner, or find a way to provide for my own lunch and dinner, but breakfast is included. But, over there, that breakfast was expensive. The breakfast and the dinner is expensive. So I tried to not eat it every day, or I didn't have the funds to eat it every day. So, but as I said, I only have 2 meals worth of the leftover Dollar Tree food. And that Dollar Tree didn't have like a freezer and refrigerator like where you could get frozen meals, or so it was just like, and I couldn't even find a shelf stable milk. So, I was able, just get what I had, but I was in physical pain that day. My hips were hurting so bad. I was hurting so bad. I think my legs were hurting. So, and I was sleep deprived and tired, and my anxiety was really high. So that's why I didn't go to the fake Walmart next door. And if I did, more money would have been spent. So I was trying to, excuse me, save and hold on to that $400 in case if that guy would have flipped on me or switched on me, or something, But at first I thought he was trying to tell me that Thursday I was going to have to leave. But I'm glad he was nice, I'm glad he was nice about it, But, I mean, certain beliefs about this world and everything, I don't know, with certain beliefs that he might have that I can't discuss on here. If he has certain beliefs, then I couldn't marry somebody like that. But I mean, it was a couple of things that he did and said that made me raise suspicion that he might be a perp. You know, but there is a such thing as fake nice perps too. But he probably wasn't. He probably was. I don't know. But um, I don't. I kind of feel like I can't fully determine that. Oh yeah, you're definitely a perp. You know, but I don't even know if he was the one that set that up to have nearby neighbors doing all that damn tapping. So if that's the case, then the perps doing all that tapping were probably just as much sleep deprived as I was, or got less sleep than I did, because if me getting sleep and then waking up and you tapping, you already awake. So it's like these, I heard some perps that they never freaking sleep and that they have to take certain drugs to keep them awake, to continue watching the target, you know. But I mean, but I'm thankful and glad that things didn't get worse. I'm glad I wasn't trafficked, and I'm glad I wasn't raped or taken advantage of or anything like that. God must have been looking out for me. And I felt like I wanted to find a way to repay this person. Even though I don't have much. But now the $400 is gone because I spent that on this hotel, you know, because they got the hard freeze coming. But I mean, other targeted individuals, excuse me, I don't see gang stalkers attacking them for receiving donations. That me being attacked for receiving donations, it comes from my twin sister and her flying monkey cult. And then my twin sister tried to pretend to be fake sarcastic the other day and said, well, oh, why don't y'all get Candy an apartment or whatever? Well, your family, why don't you get me, why you and the family don't get me a damn apartment? You expecting internet strangers to give me a damn apartment. Why don't you do it? All that money that you stole from me, robbed me of, blackmailed me throughout the years, threatened me out of, bullied, harassed, and threatened me out my money, right after slandering me to my neighbors, and you're still evil. And even in the year 2010, she was getting over $3,000 a month, and I still had that small income, and I was going back to school, and she was, try to bully, harass, and threaten and manipulate me out of money. When I went to Georgia, visit her in Georgia in 2010, and she would try to blackmail and manipulate me and stuff. When she tried to blackmail me into going to a lesbian strip club and acting like she wanted to try to push me to be the way she is. And she's mad that I'm not the way she is and never will be. And using projection. In 2008 or 9, I think it was 2000, somewhere between 2008 and 10. I think it could have been 2010 that she called me up and acted like she wanted to try to persuade me to be a lesbian, and then try to tell me that I don't know what I'm missing. No, I think a man could please me better than a woman. I don't have interest in being with another woman. Excuse me. So, well, I think I'm starting to get that vertigo again. Well, it's been a while since I had it, but I think I'm starting to feel it. So let's see. Well, today is the holiday, so I don't even know if that job opportunity would have called me up today, or if they possibly are calling people today and shipping them out, or excuse me, if they're calling people today, or if they're gonna wait until tomorrow and call people and ship them out. You know, so yesterday on TikTok, they had this narcissistic control freak, fake Christian T.I. perp, excuse me, that try to leave dozens and dozens of bossy messages and bossy narcissistic comments, and then try to DM me and give me her phone number, and then try to act like she wanted to lure me by her house and try to make like I can solve all your problems or you should come to me for help. And then, she tried to make like get out of that jurisdiction and that's not good for you and this ain't good for you, that ain't good for you. She started to get very bossy and narcissistic and she looked like she was way younger than me. I freaking blocked her, you know. So why are people saying get out of this place, get out of that place? That's bad. It's really bad. Well, um, people are saying get out of New Orleans because it's a bad place for the targeting. This is my hometown, but the targeting was pretty bad when I was in Bloomington, Texas, and that's a tiny little town. The targeting in Bloomington, Texas was worse than when I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. But the gang stalking, I'm pretty sure, is pretty bad here in New Orleans because that's where it started. And they have a few people that's not from New Orleans that say that they came here and live here for some time or something. And then they said that, New Orleans was where their gang stalking started. But then, excuse me, but there's supposedly a couple of targeted individuals or a few TIs, whether real or fake, a few TIs here in New Orleans. But if you're a fake TI, I don't acknowledge you as a TI. You're a perp. So they have somebody, I don't remember, I think it was right after I came, immediately after I came back to New Orleans in October. And somebody, from the metro area, supposed to be in a TI community. And she acted like a narcissistic control freak, fake Christian TI perp as well. You know, but she kept suggesting that I stay by her. But after what I went through with Trisha, and she kept insisting that I come stay by her. But after what I went through with Trisha, though, and then everybody, like, more TIs turned to, like, sincere targeted individuals have listened to Trisha's lies and believed her and turned against me. Even that guy that used to call me Nappy or Nappy Head Roots, he even believed Trisha's lies against me. So I don't even know if he's still on YouTube. Now it's like on YouTube, I don't have that many other so-called TIs that I'm following. like on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, it's like my TI circle is extremely small. Like I can almost count on my hands how many supposed targets that are actually supportive of me. A very small amount of people. But I see how if I try to follow somebody on TikTok that's in the TI community and they're following more people than the people that's following them, and then um and then you won't even follow me back. But then all your videos promote all the popular fakes that just sit behind a desk and talk about the program in general and don't show any frustration, or they don't talk about any personal experiences, or they might just do one video and talk about just talking about being targeted and then go viral on the TI community on TikTok off of one video. But I'm sitting here some of us are documenting daily about the organized harassment, and they make sure they don't give us any fucking recognition. It makes me so damn angry. You know, that you can go viral and get popular off of one video, and your video is just you sitting behind a desk talking or sitting on your couch talking, but you don't have any footage of, one headlight following you, or you don't have any a video of you getting into an altercation with, a manager or a boss or a coworker, or all you do is sit in your car and talk. And then those are the same abusive, narcissistic, control freak, popular fakes that try to bully you about how you should ignore your stalkers and tell you that you deserve to be made homeless as punishment for not ignoring your stalkers. And they come out with that unsolicited advice that you didn't ask for, and then with them trying to control and fix you. We're trying to control and fix you and dish out unsolicited advice. And then had somebody also on Twitter that tried to do me the same thing. Try to lure me to some other area of Louisiana. And they try to get you in these small towns, like a small town, lure you to a small town like with Bloomington. I never wanted to go to Bloomington, Texas. But, the fake TI perp that lured me to Bloomington, Texas, and then ghosted me that night. And I never heard shit from her since that night. And then she started ignoring and then I went through hell in Bloomington. But, she was in some other area that she was trying to send me to, that she said was supposed to be outside of Victoria, Texas, but she never told me the exact city or the exact area. Bloomington and Victoria, Texas, those are not places where you can go if you don't have a car. It's hard to get around if you do not have a car. But if you had a car, it's a different story. And the one job that I got the interview for, the perps had sabotaged that job opportunity. And then I went to at least 2 interviews when I was in Bloomington. But I was at least freaking trying, and that daycare center in Bloomington did not call me back. And yeah, cuz and then excuse me. I mean, I'm sorry, it wasn't a daycare in Bloomington. It was a daycare in Victoria. So I mean, if you're living in Bloomington, it's very hard to have like, if you're living in Bloomington with no car, it's very hard to get a, like, there's almost nothing in Bloomington. Excuse me. So I even try to apply for or look into some caregiving jobs, like to care for the elderly, or and couldn't really get anything. And then after I got to Bloomington, certain jobs from Cincinnati, Ohio, were trying to contact me. I'm like, well, I already got settled and established in Bloomington. Like, it wasn't until June or July, even August, that they come and finally call me back for jobs. But you bastards will lie and say you're hiring immediately. Okay, well, if you're hiring immediately, why do I have to wait at least 2 or 3 months to finally get a call back? Or urgently hiring. And then, like, even with this job, you know, this job that I'm supposed to get, um, this job took me over a, I mean, I'm sorry, not over a month. It took me a month to finally get a call back. And I thought that they said that they were hiring immediately. But I didn't get a call back until a month later. But then I was told I was hired, like, right on the spot. That we were all hired, for the job. So yeah, the person in the New Orleans metro area, I feel bad that I cut off all contact with her, suspecting that she might be a perp, and me being afraid, afraid that she would have done. She was from New Orleans metro area, but I was afraid to go and live with her because I was afraid that she probably would have set me up, and with her being older, I was afraid that she probably would have been more clever and more evil, been more cleverly evil, would try to set me up. And it seemed like she was trying to love bomb me and follow me on all social media platforms and everything. But, I was scared to take a chance. If Trisha nearly succeeded at destroying the fuck out of me. And after acting like a perp and doing me all the dirty stuff that she did, even throwing up devil horns, gaslighting me, mocking me, playing games, gossiping, talking bad about me, love bombing me, and she pretends to speak against narcissistic abuse and gang stalking when she's a narcissistic, control freak, devil worshipping, fake TI perp, masquerading as Christian and targeted. And Trisha was trying to set me up to either get murdered or institutionalized. And then all y'all victim blamed me and called me a fool and a dumbass. So you can preach Jesus all day long, but that doesn't stop you from being a perp. I mean, they got some narcissistic, control freak, fake Christian TI perps that they're part of these secret societies, Freemasonry or whatever, and pretending that they're not and acting like controlled opposition. And then Trisha had nerve to make like I'm the bad one, and then try to say the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. I don't see Trisha comment on my twin sister's page, all over my twin sister's page anymore. So some of the fake TI perps, after having a feud with them, and then they would join forces with my twin sister only for a couple of weeks or a few months. But that fake ass talent surveillance perp, now she's pretending that she's a real targeted individual, that they're trying to murder her. If you following less than 1,000 people on TikTok, or only a couple of hundred, yet you got over 20,000 followers, The gang stalking. If you're a real TI, then the gang stalking network ain't gonna let you get that high or have that many followers. You got that many followers, you fake. You're fake. And if you know how to love bomb and be manipulative with me behind closed doors, imagine how you're deceiving the damn TI community. And it's like a lot of the popular fake TI perps, even the ones that say that they're Christian, they be practicing the witchcraft and having people under a spell. And then they secretly mix Christianity and New Age beliefs, like calling people low vibrational. Yeah, that's New Age talk. They want to talk about energy and vibration. Or they want to talk about your throat chakra. Or, talking about the kundalini and chakras. And then when I cut off contact with you because you believe in that stuff, then you be like, I donated Candy money. And no, you waited till after you donated to me and then reveal your true colors. If I would have known you believed that before you donated to me, no matter how badly I need help, I would have returned the money back to you. I meant to say I would have returned the money to you before I would not have accepted it. Like that lady over the summer that donated $500, and then she started being very bossy and controlling. And then later on, I found out that she was a fake Christian witch. And then I had to cut off all contact with her. I didn't even know until after the money was donated to me, after I had accepted the money. But, or like the perp the other day that donated me 10 cents. And he donated me 10 cents. And then, I was mistakenly thought my account was hacked. But come to find out, it started back to act normal again, But no way in hell would I have gotten, nah, that is a lie. For you to lie and say I got $13,000 in donations in the year 2023 alone, where did you get those lies from and where did you get that information from? Or are you combining my Social Security and SSI money, combining that plus whatever donations? Because that Go Get funding I've been having that account for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Not one, but almost 2 years. So, if I would have had $13,000 in donations, which is not true, if I would have had that much in donations, don't you think I would have been out of my situation? But unless you're illegally in cahoots with the Social Security Administration, which, the Social Security Administration is not supposed to be giving you my information. I don't even know who you are behind the computer screen or behind social media. Like, this is what these cowards do. Like, you have a fake profile stalking and monitoring, and you have no picture, no videos, or nothing. Just hateful comments. Like, your stalking is a damn scam, and you get paid to stalk and control people. That's the damn scam and fraud. And trafficking people, that's the scam and fraud that needs to be worried about. If you didn't want me to have donations, then y'all should not have sabotaged any job or housing for me. Y'all did this. The gang stalking cult network. So I need to stop being afraid of y'all. I need to stop being afraid of y'all. And David Jane came to make a fake new account to come harass me this morning. A fake new account. And he left me alone for a long time. So yeah, the person that's supposedly from the New Orleans metro area, well, she is from here. You know, as I said, because of what I went through with Trisha almost 2 years ago, I was afraid and didn't trust to go stay with her. And I was afraid of her being manipulative, you know. But she didn't even, like, she had videos that looked like, just like with Trisha, fake videos that look like there's an illusion of them being targeted. I mean, she had videos that look like an illusion of her being targeted, but I didn't have concrete enough evidence. But they have had people who would have concrete recent footage of themselves being gang stalked and then turn around and perp me, leaving me mind boggled, or bully me. So and then for you to be bossy and controlling and tell me stuff like, be wise. You're trying to insinuate that I don't have common sense, or that I'm a dummy, or trying to insinuate that I deserve to become homeless because you should have ignored your stalkers. And they had that new age narcissistic control freak fake T.I. perp who outright told me that she didn't believe in Jesus Christ. And she started to talk about you should activate your chakras or whatever, or you know, you should raise your vibration. And then she started perping me and doing stuff on purpose to trigger and upset me, and then tell me I have to tolerate this and that. And then that's the fake bitch. She's one of the abusive and narcissistic and pretending to be a victim and pretending to be targeted. But she showed enough footage for me to be like, okay, I think she's a real targeted individual. And then she turned around and started perping me and giving unsolicited advice that I should ignore the perps, or she tell me you need to start exercising, or you need to ignore the perps, or you need to do this, you need to do that. And then now she's one of the popular fakes, and multiple of her videos have gone viral on TikTok in the TI community. How can you say gang stalking is human trafficking, but then telling me I should ignore? No, you gotta take this shit really seriously. And you claim you're homeless living in your car. But, you know, they have, just like pretend fake homeless, they have fake TI perps that get paid to pretend that they're homeless living in their car, but behind closed doors they have a nice ass house that they go to. And you can show recent footage of yourself being gang stalked and followed, but then you turn around and block or unfollow me, and I haven't done you anything. You know. So the lady that was supposed to be targeted that wanted me to it's, if somebody coming after you to offer you help, they use a lot of the time that kind of help, like offer me to come stay by her. You usually have an agenda, and it seemed like she was even perping me and triggering me, being subtle with perping and triggering me. I mean, I probably would have been. I mean, it seems like with Trisha, my first instinct and my gut instinct kept on saying, something about her spiritually making me feel uncomfortable, or excuse me, or or something's off spiritually, or something making me feel uncomfortable with her. Excuse me. So if something is spiritually off with her, I'm mad at myself for not trusting my gut instinct. And then the other lady that wanted me to come stay by her in the New Orleans metro area, she linked up with my twin sister also, but then pretend that she was trying to tell me, oh, I saw your twin sister's videos and she seemed like she was weird. But I mean, wow. I mean, the fact that y'all look at my videos and then quick to go on my twin sister's page. And it's like, if y'all linking up, if y'all linking up with my twin sister, I damn sure can't trust you. So I was thinking this morning about the other relative that are both parents' side of the family. If the biological mom, Frances, didn't talk much to us about her siblings. But I've seen, a few pictures. But I got on both sides, I have aunts, uncles, and cousins, nieces, and nephews that I've never seen pictures of or that I never met. Yeah, I still got nieces and nephews and cousins and stuff that I never met. Or I never even seen pictures of. And even great nieces and nephews that I still either never met or never saw pictures of. Cousins, or cousins' babies that never seen pictures of or never met. But I mean, Blake's daughter Bria. I mean, when she was a baby, I saw a few pictures of her. But I never met Bria until Blake's funeral. And she was 9 years old. And the biological sister Ramona was talking bad about Bria and gossiping about her on the day of Bria's the day we saw Bria for Blake's funeral. Ramona was like in her 50s talking bad about a 9-year-old child and gossiping about her, But I've seen, Rebecca's 2 kids, a few times. But the other cousin, Daryl Jr., who they call Doom, he supposedly has a child that I've never seen any pictures or never met the child in person. And my twin sister said that the foster sister Joni mentioned that the biological gay brother Mark supposedly has a child running around here. That child is probably a grown adult, and I don't know if Wyatt has one or two kids. Now, why would your own brother hide even pictures and videos of the baby from you? Wyatt supposedly has a daughter or a child or something. And I don't know the child's name. And Wyatt is not even in the child's life. But Wyatt would be all over the phone and have certain girlfriends and boast and brag about taking care of this person's child and taking care of that person's child. When, why aren't you taking care of your own child? But you want to brag about new girlfriends, brag about being a father figure or taking care of them, but you're a deadbeat to your own. You know, so Derek, it was at Blake's funeral when not the funeral, but the repast, when I met Derek Jr. But I saw a little video of the daughter. But Derek's wife, I don't know if they're still married. She was pregnant during the time of Blake's funeral. So I didn't get to meet the baby, but she was, the mom was Derek's wife was pregnant. And so I met Pete, both of Pete's kids. I met both of Belinda's sons. Of course, I know, Ramona's two kids, Monica and Raymond. But Monica's two kids, I've met them a couple of times or a few times before. But Raymond's daughter, I only met her once. And she was a 7-year-old kid, but she looked at me, and I don't even know if during the time I was arguing and feuding with Monica and Ramona, if they put stuff in that child's head and made her think a certain way about me. She had an attitude and treated me like as if I was a Rottweiler ready to attack her or something. The girl was scared of me and didn't like me at all. But Raymond's son, I just saw a picture of him. Excuse me, but I never met him in person. But Raymond's son looks like a boy version of the mom. But I never saw Raymond's baby mama, Terriel's mama. But I was familiar with Robin, the first baby mama, the son's mama. Robin was a perp. And in 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, Ramona and Rebecca and them, we were in the St. Bernard projects, and they tried to manipulate for Robin to ruin my hair. And Robin fucked over my hair. And 3 weeks later, Ramona, that was the time when Raymond and Ramona's boyfriend, Amigo, pinned me down while Ramona beat me up. And then she pulled my hair out of my head. I mean, after I got me having a perm, and then you snatch my real hair out of my head. And then for weeks, even that happened in March, even by the time I was in Costa Rica, chunks of hair. A couple of months later, me going to Costa Rica, a couple of months later, chunks of hair still coming out of my head. And my scalp and my hair was bleeding. And Ramona supposedly has what people will say, quote unquote, better hair than us, or with that so-called good hair and the light skin or whatever. But I had never really envied Ramona about her hair. But Ramona was always envious of us about our hair being thicker. She always wanted the thicker hair. So by her being jealous of my hair, you know, they had manipulated for you know, for Robin to screw over my hair really bad, you know. And then so let me see who else. Okay. Sean doesn't have any kids. I was shocked to find out he got married at 36 years old. And I figure, well, if there was hope for Sean, then there was hope, supposed to be hope for me. But I'm 40 years old and still single and unmarried with no kids. Never got married. Never been married, but always wanted to. And yeah, Wyatt tried to play that game where he tried to hide his pictures of his daughter from me. I think I heard somewhere that somebody said Wyatt had I don't remember who told me that Wyatt had at least 2 kids. But Sean doesn't have any kids, and I don't have any kids. But Brandy has kids, and she got 3. But you know, McKeithen was at least a year old when I finally saw at least pictures of what he looked like. On MySpace, you know. But Brandy was sneaking behind my back and lying on me and said that I molested all 3 of her kids before I can even see any pictures of what McKeithen looked like. And I'm like, well, that is very wild. You know. And she, first, it's like, Wyatt was telling me that Brandy, you know, said that I looked at Ivan like I wanted to do oral sex on him. A 1-year-old baby, and that's my doggone nephew? And you're my twin? You're the sick one to even lie about shit like that and think it's funny. So, excuse me. But yeah, me and Sean, it seems like we're the only 2 of the siblings that are childless, that we don't have any kids. But I mentioned almost 2 years ago, from those rapes that happened, I don't even know if I was pregnant and had a miscarriage, super early miscarriage, because, excuse me, I was supposed to have been pregnant at the same time Brandy was pregnant with Raven. I had like symptoms of pregnancy, but I didn't know, you know, and the foster stepdad choked me, you know, around that time. And I was going to University of New Orleans, and I don't remember if that was even in 2003. I don't remember if the foster brother Joe was physically abusing and beating on me too. I was still, you know, being abused by the fake foster family. Excuse me. So, yeah, I was supposed to have been pregnant right around the exact same time as my twin sister. And if I was pregnant, if that baby would have survived, um, I wasn't feeling nauseated, but I was gaining rapid weight, and like my breasts were super sore, and I had certain other symptoms, and I was freaking out. Didn't know if in a missed period, that too. So, damn, we I guess that first baby we were supposed to have been, and I didn't even. Of course, she had set me up to get raped by that Jerome guy. And a couple of years ago, she tried to publicize him and that Red Dog guy. And I mean, she tried to publicize their faces, on YouTube and try to smear campaign me. And one time, she switched and manipulated and twisted and lied. She lied and said Candy had sex with a Freemason named Giovanni. And I'm like, I was raped by a guy named Giovanni, and Giovanni was, I don't know if he was a narcissistic abuser or a straight up psycho, but that's a different person from the Derwin O's guy that was the Freemason who also raped me almost exactly a year later. And when I was trying to tell my twin sister about, the rape with the Freemason and with Giovanni, she either ignored me and dismissed me, or she didn't want to hear what I had to say. But I didn't even, like, somebody has said that if you're a female targeted individual and a whole bunch of guys taking advantage and raping you, then that's part of the sex trafficking. I was one. I mean, but it's different. When they would have a bunch of random men, excuse me, acting like they want to offer me to prostitute. I'm like, hell no. I don't know. But they'll say okay and then go on about their way. But when I was living in Los Angeles, they had, whether it be black people or illegal Mexicans or legal Mexicans, or, trying to either offer me to prostitute. And more than once, they try to force, I've been in predicaments where they try to, even during the daytime, try to grab me and try to, throw me in their van, and I was able to break away from them. So, with this predicament, I'm glad that the guy didn't sex traffic me, or I'm glad he didn't rape me. And, it's a blessing that he didn't charge me any money, but I wanted to compensate him with like a gift, like a present, but he had left. He had already left already. I mean, I wanted to, as a way of thank you, I would have wanted to give him like a natural health product, you know, whether it be bentonite clay or coconut oil or something, But it's like um I'm glad that he didn't commit any crime towards me. I mean, physically. But as I said, I don't even know if it could have been him, or someone said hotel staff that told those perps to keep me awake, excuse me, and keep tapping and tapping and tapping and beating and banging, you know. And other people have, exposed housing or apartments or hotel or motel neighbors. You know, they documented neighbors doing stupid shit like that. But as I said, after all the documentation that I did about the neighbors, and then I said that, that they threatened, I mean, that the lady from the housing agency threatened to evict me. And then we had that meeting the next day, and the neighbors were trying to kill me. So the online perps lie and say that I just heard a noise that I didn't like and then packed up my stuff and threw everything away and moved out and made myself back homeless on purpose to for an excuse to beg and panhandle and scam and fraud and make everybody feel sorry for me. And which they're lying. So yesterday I wrote my first fiction short story for the year. And I don't think I did too bad. I was kind of sleep deprived, but I don't think I did too bad with the short story that I wrote yesterday. And I did some blogging too. You know. So what I did yesterday was work. But I may not get a penny or a compensation or get paid or whatever. You know, a lot of my writings I haven't gotten really paid or whatever, you know. But as I said, the online perps act like they want me dead so much that they act like as if for me to try to survive is a crime. You know, so if I wrote a short story and then somebody tip or donate me $20 because they like my short story, you know, you freak out and falsely accuse me of scam and fraud. But okay, if I try to get a job working at Dollar Tree and you sabotage, you conspired to sabotage the interview, like what y'all did with the airport. So the online gang stalkers, some of them do say how much they hate me and want me dead, but others, their actions show that they're trying to have me murdered off or have me to be forced to have no way out but to die. You know, but think if the online and in-person gang stalkers, if you would not have gang stalked me out of my apartment, then, you know, if y'all would have kept the peace and just left me the fuck alone, then I wouldn't be begging right now. Or I wouldn't have to. But when I first got there, I was trying to get help with some curtains and furniture, help with the funds for curtains and furniture. And that was all I pretty much needed help with. And I don't remember what else I needed help with. And I think a couple of like deposits to get the you know, get certain like utilities turned on. But then after a month or two, I would have been fine and wouldn't need any help. So is it what am I supposed to do if somebody donate me $10 on Cash App, you know, because they felt like they wanted to? If they donated me something that I didn't ask for, what am I supposed to do? If I accept it, oh, that's scam and fraud. But if I return the money, y'all will holler about me being so ungrateful. That's the games that they play. If I accept the $10, it's scam and fraud. But if I return the money, it's ungrateful. But all of this is none of your business. Like, you have a house, you have a car, stock food pantry, a loving family. Like, I've been wrongfully excommunicated from my own birth family in a way that, like, as if I deserve to be punished with no family. And even, well, Ramona copied off of my twin sister with that, throwing in my face, and even Pete throwing it in my face about me bouncing around from state to state with no family or no friends. And like, as if friends is supposed to be more valuable than family. They talk about, you run around living out of state, bouncing around from state to state with no family, no friends, and you're out there by yourself. Well, why was my twin sister in 2013 condemning me for living out in Los Angeles with no family or friends by myself? Well, you didn't want me to stay by you. And if I did stay by you, I would have to be subjected to more abuse from my own damn twin, who's the younger twin. So, in 2018, drunk lady Yvonne talking about, you have no family. You have no family. You know. But like without family abuse, even with this gang stalking, without the family abuse, my depression is not even as bad. You know, family abuse is bad enough to where it make me like suicidal depressed. Family abuse. You know, so in Los Angeles, I was fine and content being no contact with my abusive, narcissistic, gang stalking family members. And even within recent years, even struggling and suffering out in Pensacola, you know, my depression wasn't as bad. You know, having no contact with the family. So I was content and fine with being on my own, you know, and asking the family for nothing. But because, you know, the online stalkers, including my twin sister, they emailed the airport and told them lies about me and had me wrongfully banned from the airport and kicked out on a night that was very cold. I felt like that was a last resort for me to ask my aunt, you know. But for y'all to think it's natural and casual for me to be considered, you know. I mean, you think that because you think this in your mind, that it's supposed to be the truth or a fact that I'm not your niece. But I'm hearing stories about people who love their family members enough that you love someone who loves their niece enough to drive them out of state to go and start off their first year of college, or love their niece enough to throw a graduation party. But I have to do everything by myself. Spend holidays alone. Not allowed to have my own twin sister thinks she got the authority to dictate that I shouldn't be allowed to have any friends or boyfriends or get married. But you falsely say that I'm the narcissist, but you're the bully trying to control me. You know? And my twin sister doesn't like for anybody to rebuke her for the stupid things that she's doing. But here's someone else I didn't even know, because I don't even look at my twin sister's live streams, or I'm not even subscribed to my own twin sister. excuse me, or on any social media. I'm not subscribed to her any of her YouTube channels. I don't think I ever have been subscribed to her. Never followed her on TikTok. And so, you know, my twin sister stalks and watches my videos and screenshots more of my content, you know. But she'll do stuff like her and her cult followers and other perps will tag my name, tag me in community posts, like, excuse me, or like as if they want to try to force me to see their lies on purpose so that they can ruin my mental health even more. You're ruining my mental health by abusing me. I'm not naturally a crazy person. But this is the biggest betrayal. And I'm going to say again, my twin sister has never in life, of the 40 years of our lives, never been loyal to me. Ever. And if any time that she did, it was a fake in order to try to get something out of me. But you think you got more common sense than me, but you are a deadbeat mother that neglect and ignore your kids. Leaving your kids to eat their own feces. Leaving your babies to freaking starve and drink out of the toilet. How don't you ever come at me talking about me being mentally unstable and crazy. I would have never thought of to freaking let my kids starve and keep them in the same moldy mildew bib for days. Or to leave my child in the same shitty diapers for 2 weeks. I wouldn't even allow my child to eat his or her own feces. And the fact that you sat there and let Raven eat her own doodoo multiple times. And then try to threaten somebody not to tell. You scammed and threatened me out of my money all these years. And Wyatt too, and Mark and other family, Ramona, other family members had Pete, John, the biological nephew, John, y'all too. But you're mad at me and want to ban me from the family for fighting back against the wrong that, and speaking out against the wrong that y'all have done me throughout the fucking decades. I should have a right to be mad at y'all, not the other way around. And certainly y'all family members don't even give a fuck about your own damn kids. The biological family. Some of y'all don't even care about your own damn kids. And I'm sitting here with, as I said, certain family members that I don't know their names or existence. And I'd never a day in my life, I don't think I ever set foot in Bogalusa, Louisiana. But that's where the biological mom, Frances, where she's from. And it looked like some of her siblings still live there. But I don't even exactly know where Bogalusa is, really. I mean, I could Google it and look it up, but, But, I mean, I have 2 living biological aunts aside from Yvonne. I heard that was the biological mom, Frances, that's her dad's kids. Because Yvonne and the biological mom, Frances, have the same mom, but different dads. So I don't even know if Yvonne has any siblings aside, or have siblings aside from the biological mom, Frances. But like my other aunts and my Uncle Carl or whatever, like the biological mom, Frances, mentioned them very little, but like in 2005 or whatever, she never gave me their phone number to talk to them, or Ramona never gave me their phone number. But Ramona would take certain family members, and Brandy as well, take family members and smear campaign me to them. Even extended family, friends of the family. I'm pretty sure that she smear campaigned me to my biological aunt Betty. Betty, well, I'm not gonna mention her name, but the biological aunt, I'm not gonna mention her last name, but the biological aunt Betty, when my twin sister said that she first met her at the biological mom Frances funeral, I bet you somebody, or Ramona or Brandy, somebody, I wouldn't be surprised if they got in that woman's head and smear campaigned me to her. And that's the dirty shit that y'all do. Why does Yvonne's husband, Daryl Garnett's family members, why they hate me? Because Ramona and them put stuff in their head. But y'all mad at me for speaking out on social media about everything y'all fucking did to me. But even in 2017, Yvonne hated me and threw away gifts that I tried to give her, and I never did the woman anything. And she's just mean for no fucking reason. You know, when I went by Yvonne's, she was gonna do that anyway, because they have this ableism and skin color prejudice in the family, and I guess they prejudice you of how little bit of money you got as well. Because if I was wealthier than the rest of the family members, they would have been, even Monica and them would have been kissing my ass. But you know, it's ableism and colorism and what's it called when you prejudice somebody to be more poor than you? You know. And then there's narcissistic abuse and elitism and gang stalking and the witchcraft and the voodoo in this family. You know, I don't even know if Ramona taught Raymond and Monica how to do voodoo or taught them witchcraft. But they're not fucking struggling. But I wouldn't be surprised if Pete does witchcraft. Yvonne has the type of personality and the type of person who be doing a voodoo or witchcraft. But I don't know. I haven't heard any stories. But I forgot that the biological brother Sean told me that Yvonne would talk to herself. Well, I guess maybe we're getting so drunk. But I never heard her talk to herself. You know. But you hear different stories about certain family members having such and such so-called mental illness. Like Mark, try to, you know, call me crazy and make jail threats or get threats to get me locked up in a mental institution. But Mark will fuss and curse with the air. And nobody's around. And I don't even know if Mark is getting V2K. Voice to skull. Because they experimented on us in freaking foster care. I don't even know if Mark is both targeted and perp. I don't even know if Yvonne will fuss and curse with the air. But Mark got some explaining to do. Why does Mark, and the family, they don't even talk about it. But yeah, in 2011 was the first time I heard Mark will fuss and curse with the air. And Brandy even tried to say Mark is schizophrenic, but she tried to control him. No, she tried to put restrictions on him. No, but he got the upper hand over her. That's why. But, you know, fussing and cursing with the air. But you call me schizo and crazy. My twin sister's freaking, she's a compulsive liar. Um, so how come people just say she lied? If she believes her lies, wouldn't she be considered delusional? But I don't think my twin sister believes her own lies. I think she spread lies on purpose, thinking it's funny, and she knows the shit isn't true, and she'll spread the lies, thinking it's funny, hoping that other people will fall for her tricks, and she just want to turn everybody against me. You know. But my twin sister is the reason. She brainwashed and smear campaigned me to the rest of the biological family. And she even admitted to me that she did. Before I can reunite with the family or meet certain family members. As I said, I got certain family members I don't even know their existence. All I know is off the biological mom Francis side of the family, Ramona showed me this one picture of a whole bunch of them together. You know, and I know we got more family, more cousins, and more aunts and uncles than just drunk lady Yvonne and Blake and Rebecca and all them do. And yeah, we do have more cousins, aunts, and uncles on both sides. But a lot of people off of Arthur's side of the family have passed away already. You know. And we got cousins and aunts and uncles and cousins off Arthur's side that we never got to meet. And some of them had died. And it's like, I feel like I wish I could have been married and had my own husband and children. A decent, godly husband, you know? And I wish that we weren't brainwashed in a cult growing up. If we weren't brainwashed by abusive foster parents and put in a cult, me and my twin sister probably would be close. And, you know, I wish that she could sit right here and learn the truth right along with me. You know, and, you know, it shouldn't matter who knows more than who. We should be able to, you know, support each other and love each other and be, like, you know, there for each other. But all this narcissistic abuse and elitism in a family, you know, I believe that my twin sister could change her heart if she wanted to. But she would rather choose a cult and money. She's the one who's getting paid to scam me. Getting paid to perp and scam. And getting paid for every lie. Every smear. Working right along with some devil worshippers. Satanic Luciferian cult. And you not taking this seriously. But even the biological nephew Raymond and them, I don't even think Raymond cares about God or cares about his soul or salvation. Pete is part of that fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult. My twin sister is still part of the fake IDMR cult. You know, but I'm the one that something's mentally wrong with me, but you're in a cult. We had no control when we were little or teenagers. But I'm glad I found out the truth and broke away. And my twin sister won't even be receptive. You know, like certain family members, I was thinking about what family members could change their heart if they want to. But, you know, it seems like as if people like Ramona and Yvonne, it seems like it's hopeless. But I do believe people like my twin sister and Wyatt is hopeless. Excuse me. But like my twin sister or and Pete is hopeless. Wyatt's hopeless. Ramona and Yvonne, they're hopeless. But I believe that my twin sister, Raymond, Monica, Rebecca, and them, that they could change their heart if they wanted to. Mark too, I think he could have a change of heart if he wanted to, but they just choose not to. And they choose to be just freaking wicked. Wicked. And Sean is disabled. Sean and Daryl Jr., who they call Do, they're disabled. So I can't judge them like that, But they even turned Sean and Do into perps. But Mark had persecution in the foster family. But he had more privileges than we did. But I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, the fact that we were experimented on and trafficked in the foster care, I really think the whole family need to do serious research on, this targeted individual thing. They have certain people who suspect that, oh, your biological dad, Arthur, was in the military. Oh, he was the one who sold y'all to the gang stalking program. But other people say it was the foster mom, Adrian Felder. Some people say it was my twin sister sold me out. You know, but I feel like something's not right with me being 40 years old and family members don't even care whether I'm alive or dead and don't care whether or not I starve or eat or if I have a roof over my head or not, but they think that they have the authority to police my life choices. And I don't even make bad choices like they do, because they do intentional wickedness and think that they're invincible and won't get caught. And then they mock and laugh and think it's funny. My family is the same kind of evil like the fake foster family. As I said, I think that the foster cousin Cricket, I think she's a targeted individual. The way the foster family been stalking and spying on and persecuting her. I think the biological mom, Frances, was, targeted individual. And probably, it seemed like she was both targeted and perp. But, and I don't even know if some of Cricket's sisters were targeted because they were outcasted from the foster family. And the foster mom, Adrian Felder, was controlling and abusive towards her cousin Cricket and Cricket's kids. But I don't know if Cricket would even care about, I don't know, she may care, she may not care, to evaluate her life and question whether or not she's been freaking gang stalked. But it seemed like James, Cricket's son, turned out to be an abusive, narcissistic perp. Like, became one of the elites in the foster family. And I remember the foster cousin, her name's Whitney too. The foster cousin, Whitney White, Adrian Felder's niece. That's Dana's daughter. Adrian's sister's daughter. Whitney would even have an attitude with Joni for no reason. It was a time when I saw where Joni's first child, India, was a baby, and Whitney gave all the attention and love and towards India, but dismissed and ignored Joni and got an attitude with her for no reason. And Whitney and Mildred in the foster family treat me with the same kind of stuck-up attitude and abuse as Monica and Rebecca out of the biological family. And my biological family, they don't have any kind of natural love towards me. No love at all. And they think I deserve to be hated and punished. You know. And they think my suffering is funny. So, like, my twin sister copied the personality of the foster mom, Adrian Felder, the foster cousin, James, who I just mentioned, and the foster mom, Adrian Felder's abusive son, Joseph Modelis. The foster brother, Joe, the woman beater, who got a lot of similarities with the biological brother, Derek. Physically abusing and beating on women. And the biological brother, Pete, physically abused and beat on women. And I mean, I can't believe I'm related to these freaking people. But as I said, the family think that they can handpick who's related to them based on skin color. Because Daryl Jr. is considered quote unquote mentally slow. But they don't bully him or treat him with prejudice. But they treat me and Sean with prejudice. And they was treating my twin sister with prejudice. But I don't know what they did to get in the family's good graces, you know. If my twin sister knows what it's like to be persecuted and abused by the family, she's pretending that she's going to bat for it and defending Yvonne and Monica and all them. But when was the last time they gave her a phone call? Yeah, are they gonna come out to Texas where she's at and come visit her? They don't even think to pick up the phone and try to call her. So I mean, they don't even think to try to call her. How many birthday gifts has Yvonne gave her? But oh, you love Yvonne. You pretending to love Yvonne so much. And just like the Kraft family don't care about us, my twin sister having all these fake shenanigans and antics, pretending to fake defend people against me. You're talking bad about the family. Oh no, but I'm your twin sister and you're talking bad about me, and I'm the closest that any family can get. But you can badmouth and lie on your own twin sister. But I cannot speak the truth about the rest of the family members, and I can't speak the truth against strangers. You defend and go to bat for, but I'm the mentally unstable and crazy one. But you sleep with your brother's girlfriends like Toya. The same female that's been with Blake and Wyatt. And you slept with her too? The whole damn relationship. You know, I eyewitnessed Blake tongue kiss Raymond's girlfriend Robin, and I think Robin was pregnant with Raymond's child, and Raymond was underage. But y'all think y'all better than me. Y'all so damn arrogant. But the men in the family, they're some fake cowards. Some mentally off, slow, retarded, and fake cowards. But y'all talking about me.